Points in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are live. It is grand finals time. Once again, I will be joining you guys as your caster. My name is Kyler K-Tad Tando, and we have... It all comes down to this, basically, you know? Between AGG Kittens and Paradox Gaming, both of these teams we've covered throughout the qualifiers and now even yesterday's stream as we saw the Kittens go through. What a wild ride they had. And here we are. We're down to it. It's the final best of 3 to find out who walks away with 1,000 Australian dollars and who's walking away with second place. I mean, obviously cash in hand still, but I think both of these teams would like to get the big prize. As you see on your screens, Agent Select already underway. And here we go. So Ascent being the first map of the day, actually. And honestly, I want to just check this real quick because we are a little bit late. We are a little bit rushed. So we do apologize to you guys, as we did deal with some back-end issues, I should say, going into this one. But with that, we are here, we're live. I'm going to adjust the audio a little bit because I did notice last stream we were a little soft. But we are here and I want to just check the map selections because, alright, I want to say this was the Kittens pick for them to take Ascent. I'm not sure, but after what we saw last night with them going up against the side of both Finality and the other side. Hold on, let me just make sure we got the teams in the right side. It looks like we do. Alright, here we go. Paradox Gaming and AGG Kittens coming out at you strong in this one, and we are gonna take a look at how they play it out. Ascent, it's in, we're on, and let's go. So, looking at it here, let's take a look at the offense, because we saw this last night that the Kittens are willing, and it feels like to me Kittens are a very momentum-based team, right? They're very much so designed as to how quickly they can get ahead, how quickly can they snowball, and how quickly can they feel their shots, can they line everything up. As we take a look at it here, let's see it as Fusi gonna be the one to look for the opening. Swings out, Cypher, not gonna be too much, but knows that there's a Killjoy, so I would be surprised if he walks into it. Walks into the alarm bot turret in the corner, but a little bit of chaos here. They're still trying to figure out, get out onto site. The smokes and the cover is there. Rice trying to swing out from the top side, not able to do too much, as the rest of them meanwhile swing back around. Plant goes down, chaos in the site, some shots coming around from the doorway, but everyone, Delusion being the first one to look for the shots, as here comes Straxy. Gets that pick, sees the heal, but now they can swing out onto site. Sees the one under hell, wants to shoot him, missing a couple shots actually. Jordan, they gotta swing it, but they will find him. Vietti goes down, and that is a clean retake here for the side of the Paradox Gaming. And yep, I am sorry, it is Kittens versus Paradox Gaming. Yeah, we previously were up against Genuine Gaming last night, but there we go. Dream has been updated, so let's just update the title once again, put that as the finals, because it is finals time here in this one. And off of that, I am liking this confidence. Look at this. Delusion wants to start out, and he wants to be big with this one, as he's already buying out the Phantom. Look at this. So smaller caliber, maybe looking for a spray or something along the likes. We'll see what he does with it. Instead, Shock Dart goes out, looking for the catch. Doesn't quite find anything just yet, so everyone's just gonna back up. They do know that there's at least somebody there. Exempt would like to be the one to kind of swing and see it, but instead sees one, dashes immediately back out with the tailwind, and he's gonna get himself right on out of there. So they're trying to push. They see one back site. Delusion takes some shots, but remember, he's got that Phantom. Owl drone gonna go out. The drone itself is also blinded, so doesn't see too much, but instead the rest of them going out. Exempt in the back site, trying to get some shots down, finds one. Spray transfer not quite as good, but Ander gets the shot. That means now it's a 4-on-2. They've got some guns. They've got a Spectre, but not a lot of health in the back. So now they're going to look for the push. Gets spotted out by the dart. And then instead there's the swing. It's just Fusi on site. And that means Straxy gets that kill for him. Another clean 4-man survival from the site. As here we go. So, off of that, not a bad start. Not a bad way things are going. But it does give us options, as we see the first gun round now going to come out for the side of the Kittens. Now, overall, we are seeing, I think, some pretty standard stuff. You know, on Ascent, it isn't too crazy to imagine that you're going to leave your Killjoy, your Sentinel, on a site, and they are just going to hang around and wait, try to maybe bait out some movement. And both sites on Ascent, really, I think, easy for Sentinels to kind of lock down and really buy themselves that time. So that's why we tend to see teams take a lot of that mid control, like we're seeing from here. Spray goes out, and they are looking for it, but that's a nice pick on the side. Exempt getting that one onto Ander. Still, sight open. We'll see what else they can do. Good dart moves around, but information attempted to be gathered. Space taken. Rice, though, great pick onto the side of Andy. As with that, some of those top opening frags going down. Fusi forced to pull back off of the Nano Swarm. And this means that the rest of the squad has to retreat. They're trying to gain information with this Owl drone, but they don't quite see it. And with that, that means the rest of the squad, they're forced to just hang back here. No information granted from Exempt. Shock Dart is there, though. Does get them a little bit of gather. And instead, here we go. Vietti pulls out, but immediately gets sprayed down. It's Exempt on the other side, who finds the 2K, just spraying them through the smoke. Not much Steven's going to be able to do off of this one, and unfortunately for the Kittens, a rough 0-3 start. They might push him and go hunting, but honestly, the flawless here, the upgrades for the guns, this would be great on the side of Paradox, as they would get themselves off to a great start coming onto this one. Dead. Alright, Steven Pushing out like he wants to. But we still have to see what happens. Shots go down. Finds one. Steven, that's a good shot. Looking for the second. Not quite able to do it. As instead gets shot from behind in Rice as he takes him down.
Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade. Placing sentry.
Alright, and we're back. So, round 4. See what else happens and what else can come of this. But, off of a rough start, we are seeing the forced eco round coming out from the side of the Kittens. And they're going to try to play this one fast and loose up. Cat doesn't quite see anybody. Sees the swing, but not able to get the shot. Straxe gives them the little bit of the jiggle. They get one trade back, but Andy is there as well. And this is just going to be the Reyna wrecking havoc. One bullet in the clip, but does pull back. It's a good trade. They get one, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things in these eco rounds, not bad. You'd like to get more if you can. Instead, there goes the curveball. Gets picked off immediately, knowing that that's where the man is inside of the smoke. The heal. Oh, Straxe could get a 4K right now. Throws out the blind, looking for it. Only 8 bullets in the clip, though. The spray might not be there. Oh, there's the dart. But instead, it's just going to be Jordan on the other side who picks him off. And Paradox. Alright, 4-0. So far, so good. As we see from the defensive side. But the Kittens, you know what I mean? It was a rough stop onto A site. It always is a little hard when you walk right on into the Killjoy. So going for a different look here as they once again see what they can find. I don't know if this is quite going to be the B push. Could be. But almost as if on cue, the other side, Paradox, spots it or reacts to it and knows this is where the push could potentially come from as the switch up is happening. Dart goes out, run it back is going across. Let's see what Vietti finds. Goes right into the nanostorm and a blind. Walks into a turret, taking a lot of damage, but instead forced back. And on the other side, Jordan actually gets traded through the blind. They're all just spraying out wildly, but this is surely now information that this is going to be a B play. They're spraying through the shields, but unfortunately for them, Rice being on site and watching Speedway means that the bluff, the blind, is not there. It gets spotted out, and that means the rest of them are forced to retreat. So the run it back gets them a man advantage, and knowing that the Killjoy utility was on B, the question now becomes, can they execute out onto this? They see that smoke coming. So that should be information to Straxe that they were at least coming from spawn. Noise being made. A lot of noise coming across. And alright, let's see what ends up happening. Exempt, the only man on site, is going to have to wait under hell for that recon dart to get out of there. But alright, execution comes across. Let's see what they find. Straxe! What is that? That was blind through the fire. One bullet in the clip is all he needs. I am sorry, folks. I didn't expect that to be a blind shot through. Otherwise, I would have looked at that perspective, but Straxe just assumes they're coming through and they walk right into his line of fire. Smokes are nice, or vision denial is nice, but if you can't get the kills, you are going to be in a world of pain. And just like that, that is huge opening, because once again, it shuts down the gun round. Now we're seeing a little bit of a force from the Kittens here, as they're trying to get something under their belts, trying to find some form of a reaction and a response. As instead we see Paradox exempt, shooting blind from Cat, gives them an option, and now they're going to try to redo it. Jordan not able to get the Jordan rather stops the push at mid and makes this that much more difficult for the side of the Kittens. They're not really going to be able to push out. They're just grasping at straws. Shoots a blind dart. We'll know that the jet is there. But I don't think that gives them a whole lot of information. It really doesn't give them too much to do. I mean, and that's such a rough crossfire. When we think back to it here, the blind spray from Exempt and the cover that Jordan provided means that mid, the only option they weren't covering was the top of mid, right? That back sight, you know, from the spawn area. And honestly, we'll see how this comes out as Vietti now just spraying through, trying to find an opening or an opponent. Just expecting that somebody's gonna be around, but instead gets picked off by Delusion. Shock darts go across, and the spray is just gonna go there, expecting where each other is. But look at this, Futsi
30 seconds
finds an
left.
opening onto the beast's site, gets spotted, but instead now the trade. Okay, Delusion trying to shoot him through the walls, expecting that that was a site take. Pussy would like to get the bomb down, I think, if he can get some plant money, but instead walks into the dart, and there it goes. Straxe finds him in the trade and walks right on over. Rough one for the Kittens, as Paradox doing a great job at just taking control of this one, and a lot of this on the man from your screen here. Straxe doing a great job at holding the line and taking these frags. I mean, 2 critical gun rounds to take a look at. I mean, 3 and 5 usually are the ones that we take a lot of interest in, because when you consider it, that's where the potential for the first, for the opening frags, for momentum gathering is. Now, if we look at it on the other side, everyone's forced back as we see the dash up exempt, not able to get over the wall, but instead it's going to be Hunter's Fury from Delusion. He's got them all lined up like fish in a barrel. Takes down 2. Unlucky for the rest of the other side. Now it's going to be the counter from Steven, looking for the Omen, not able to get him with the TP. But unfortunately misjudges it. Saw him TPing in the ultimate, but doesn't quite get him anything for it. Both shock darts go wide. Now we'll have to see, can Ander get a swing? Looks for it. Ooh, hiding in the smoke. Doesn't realize that anybody's there. Knows that somebody's here. Rice catches out his compatriot going up onto Cat. Now it's a counter smokes. They are about to walk into each other. Oh, they don't know. They don't know. They're right next to each other and they have no idea. Oh, this could be dangerous. This could be very dangerous. Once the smokes drops, there it is. Jordan sees him and gets him. The trade kill will be there from Delusion. And oh boy, Delusion hasn't died yet, by the way. Keep that in mind. Okay. Rough go of it here. Now it's the forced eco from the other side. They, after 2 rounds of half buying, the Kittens here running the triple or the double duelist, not the triple duelist like we've seen them run previously. Not really getting a lot of utility out of their Sova right now. The information gathering has not been there, and we are gonna see what else they can do. As for now, the spray down Cat, not gonna be able to get it into the cubby area. And now let's see if they can line up this nade. Gonna land right onto Delusion, make him jump back. But they're not able to take the space. Operator is there, and Exempt finds the first frag, as he's waiting for it on his end. The rest of the squad chooses to back up. They don't quite want to peek this. They don't quite want to exit out of what is the safety of B Garage right now, so they're just stuck. They're trying to use utility to give them some information, but it's just not doing much for them right now. Expecting someone to push out of the smoke is Steven, but doesn't quite get it. Alright, now we go back to kind of a slight holding pattern here. The Kittens don't quite know where they want to make their entry, so they are just gonna wait around and see. I would really be surprised if this is a save, considering.
30 seconds
Alright,
left.
now we're gonna see some movement. Utility goes out. They're trying to use it to give them some options, but considering they're about to walk into the Reyna here, could be trouble. There's one. Knows that there's more. Sees that there's 2 jumping around him. Tries to get around. Has the backup of Jordan, though. And that means that is it for this
10
one.
seconds
10
left.
seconds out, but Steven has nowhere left to go. The Flawless comes out. And alright. Paradox 8-0. Could be a rough half if the Kittens aren't able to make any traction with it. This is now the critical one here, because this is the potential round between a 9 or even 10-0 start for Paradox. See what they end up coming up with. 13 kills on Straxe, still 0 deaths on Delusion. Keep our eyes on it, but the rest of the Kittens maybe looking like they want to swing up mid. We'll see what ends up happening. As here we go. First swing out, gets some damage down onto Rice, but They immediately retreat. Now they know that the Killjoy was here. The rest of the squad slowly making their approach up Cat. They're gonna shut the door from Straxe and just immediately get rid of it so that they don't have it as an option. But there we go. Andy and Ander both find their picks. They shoot the alarm block. Op shot not gonna be good from the side of the Jet. And now they got the site as they wanted. What can they do with it is the question though. It's on the other side. Vieri looking for the trade, not able to do it. Swings back around. Ander also gets the 2K from the side, looking for more. There's another one. 4 kills from Ander. Finally puts them on the board off of a great set of exchanges, a great trade, aggressive positioning. And that is it. So far, now Kittens with the window. It does give them guns, it gives them an operator to work with. Whereas on the other side, it is going to be that same Killjoy hold onto A that we've been seeing from Paradox. Let's see what else they can do with it. Rice trying to hold the line. But the rest of the squad, meanwhile, hops over to the other side. The smoke allows the Reyna to push forward. There is some light blind trading going across. Exempt, though, waiting with his own operator for somebody to cross his vision. Doesn't quite have an angle on anybody. Straxe finds one off of what was a movement, but now they know Andy's there. Andy gets the shot, though, on the other side. Darts, movement. Oh, Exempt not able to get that one and is forced to give up his spot. Mid control, forfeited over. Hard fought, hard won from the side of Paradox. I'm sorry, from the Kittens. But it does give them some options. Now, Jordan, the one waiting for a push in. Would like to get some action around it. Dart goes to the back of spawn, finds that the Silva is there, so Delusion. Still waiting to see what he can get, as now they will all get spotted in mid. Delusion waiting for more. Wants to see what else he can get out of this. Slow play from the Kittens. Attempting their best.
30 seconds left.
Alright, as now they're just pulling out. Now it looks like the call is going to be that they're about to take Cat and they're going to push into tree hard. Finds the Killjoy. Op shot is there from Exempt though. What else can he get? Trades the op shot from the other side. Andy is there. As now here comes the showstopper. Trying to get the shots across. Not able to do it. Pistol comes out. And it's going to be the Omen on site. Playing Ring Around the Rosie with the raise. But that is going to be the backup from Fusi that gets him on board. Everyone else meanwhile holding back for now. Delusion from Heaven also has Exempt on the back end. Waiting to see what they can find. Doesn't quite get the shot. Knows that the Cypher is there. Starts the blind spray. Looking for more. Can't quite get it. And instead it's forced to retreat. Now the push would be nice from Exempt. But there is a raise there. The jump shot. The take. They both win their 1v1s. And Paradox comes up with 9 rounds. Just like that. It's okay. Crazy retake from Exempt there, knowing that everyone was low, knowing that he could afford the jump shot with the pistol. The classic. It's pretty crazy to think about there. Is on the other side. Meanwhile, the Kittens are trying. We talked about this last night with Genuine and Hayapi doing his best, but now here, the Kittens, it's the same deal. They, as a team, the two carriers in Andy and Ander, trying to do what they can. We'll see how they're able to swing forth. As the movement so far, swinging out of mid, everything's smoked off, so no vision lines are granted. They're gonna use the hot hands to clear out wine. Alright. And that means Bryce on the other side. Whoa, what just happened? The spike got spotted. It's the fake play attempt from the Kittens that doesn't end up paying dividends here. And now they're in a rough spot. They walk into Exempt's operator. They can't go through mid. They've got to try to get the spike back somehow. But Strax is here and he's waiting for them on the backside. That will be a headshot. The trade is good. And this just means it's all up to Steven. 1v4, has to find something. Slings out a cat, finds the Omen, jumping midair. Needs more though, as he's in a bit of trouble. And there's Rice on the side. Sees him hopping right back over towards spawn. And that is it.
Last round in the half.
Last round in the half. This could be a 11-1 half, honestly. Because the economy is terrible on the side of the Kittens. They burned everything in hopes that they would take that last round and they'd be able to do it with enough guns to carry them over into round 12. And now, I mean, honestly, masterful rotations coming out from the side of Paradox. They're keeping it interesting. They're keeping it different. And they're switching up their game plan constantly. Sometimes they push, sometimes they sit. This time around, we're seeing the Odin go burr strategy, as Delusion just spraying it out, dissuading a B push. But now, Rice gets called out on A side. They'd like to get one more for the Neuro Death, so if they give him a plant, maybe they can get it. But instead, no. They're gonna sit back. Maybe expecting that this was gonna be an attempted fake, but instead, there's the shot. The bolt will find him through it all. Straxe now, meanwhile, looking for more. But the Omen TP is gonna go right on over to the other side. Ander goes out, and he's gonna plant this right in the middle of everything. It's a B site hold. Can they at least bring them to 2? That's the question. As Steven shoots out his Hunter's Fury, wants to find more, not quite able to do it. But alright. On the other side, run it back now, being used on Vietti, who needs to find something with it, not able to do it. Gets tagged out by the dart, which means he's going to start getting blind sprayed. The rest of the team, meanwhile, swinging out. Steven needs to get more, finds one, not able to get the trade on Speedway. It goes down to a 2v2. And the Omen, Ander, needs to do it. One gets it, now swinging around, playing around the Rosie, but Jordan with the 3-tap to the head. Oh no, that is unfortunate. He didn't even have bullets in his main gun. He just said, I'm gonna switch to my pistol and swing it. As that is a huge one for them to take. 11-2 in the half. This could be over before the pistols are done, folks. So, oh man. Paradox. They're feeling it. They're ready. They're looking for more. We see the swap to the other side. As now it's up to Paradox. Can they find their entries? Can they find the frags? I mean, so far it really has been going their way. Almost everyone on the squad putting up double-digit frags right now. We'll see what ends up happening. As the rest of the squad now pushing out. Let's see where they end up making their push. As Straxe from mid, they swing it, see that the smoke came out. He should know that that's at least potentially market, or maybe back CT spawn away from B. Gonna see what else he pulls out of. That's alright. Sees that the Sova is there, gets the shot down. Now it's gonna be up to Vietti. Can he hold the corridor? Flash goes out, but instead sees it, gets shot through it, but gets the blind headshot through the smoke. So far, so good. But Paradox, off of that, they do get to get a plant down, considering that the rest of the defenders were not on B. So, Delusion for now, gonna hold this side angle from Garage. Here's some drops, blind shots through, doesn't quite hear anything. Instead, taking some shots himself, but they push the smoke and they find it. Now, time is a ticking though. Can the rest of Paradox hold their angle? As instead, smokes go down. They are going to push out. Fusi trying to take the reclaim. There's one. Now they know where the last one is. It's going to be up to Rice, and he does not get it. They all go down, and alright, just like that, the Kittens find a breath of life. 11-2.
I need my tanks.
As now on the other side, the rest of the Kittens
That goes there.
trying their best. As we'll see how they choose to make their next move. Plastics all in hand, so don't expect anything too crazy. Initial cages go across. Mid control granted, though, once again, from the side of the Kittens, they do not hold mid. They might just wait for a site retake if it is B. But obviously they're operating without the information. Right now push. Slowly taking space, attempting to take space from the offense. Straxer finds one, but instead there's Andy, swings out, and instead tries to drop the boombot, updraft into there, and that means it's good, but the trade goes out as well. Now back down to Bryce, as he's the only one remaining. Gonna grab the orb for good measure, but this was an eco round, so weren't really expecting too much out of it anyways. But he's got to hear Vietti on the side. This swing could be huge, and there it is. Rice would like to have gotten that shot, but oh well. It is them to just kind of reset, regroup, get the rifles under their belts, and now see what they can do with it. And meanwhile, the rest of Paradox splitting up once again as they've been doing, although this time maybe they'll hold. Let's see what else ends up happening. Is Straxer looking for the entrance? Hot Hands will prevent him from pushing forward, but it's only a temporary. Doesn't get too much damage. On the other side, Vietti playing coy with the Speedway. Would like to get more. Would like to get information. Sees them. Now they know. B push is there. It's a bunch of members on site. They're forced to retreat back. Here comes Exempt on the flank and gets the kill. Now on the other side, Delusion would like to get some more shots, but they're just holding down angles. Jordan, the blind spray into market is good. That means the rest of them now on site. Cypher swings out. They'd like to get control, but Bryce doing a good job at holding down the flank. Now, what else can they get? Is Jordan sitting on top, trying to spray somebody through the door. Not quite able to get a kill, but does get some damage. Meanwhile, on the other side, throws out the blind. Here comes Rice, gets one kill before getting traded himself. All these things, great signs though, if you are Paradox, as that dart will give them information. Boosie knows that he needs to make a play here with Steven. They try to spray out, doesn't quite get anything. Movement is there, here's it, but instead there goes Control, Delusion, as well as Jordan. Both get the swing, both get the damage, and take us to match point. A little bit banged and battered. They don't quite have as much guns and money as they would like. But overall, Paradox in a great position to really close out our map as quickly as possible, really.
Shadows traveling.
As we
Get
go,
out of my way.
let's see what ends up happening here. Is Jordan gets that opening frag. And rough spot for the Kittens. Losing an early member to a push nonetheless. Almost got read like a book on that one, as now they're gonna play it slow. Recon dart out. They will shoot it before it gives away their positions, but now that might be the call for them to make a move. Double dash on through, trying to get the tripwires, break them as they can. Doesn't quite give any information, but it does mean that they are allowed to just dash in and take sight. They lose a little bit of health for it, but now with the bomb coming in, they should be able to get this plant down. Gonna be on the rest of the other side to get the swing. As Jordan from the top, trying to look for it. Exempt also here, hops up, but throws the knives out. Looking for another one, not able to finish it. As instead, here comes Vietti. The run it back was used, gets one, swinging for two, but gets shot on the side. It's just gonna be up to Ander, and he goes down as well. And that is it. Unlucky for them as the Kittens. And game number 1. proved themselves to be absolutely effective in this one. 13-3. Taking a look at the combat stats there, I mean, I think that tells the story there. If you look at that, not a single member from the Kittens able to break into the 200, and so many members from the side of Paradox doing an absolutely incredible job. With that said, ladies and gents, that will take us through our first map here in this best of 3 between the AGG Kittens and Paradox Gaming. So Kittens had a rough start of this one, trying to figure out what they're gonna do next. They really need to figure something out at this point, but we will see how they bounce back after this short little break. Don't go in here, guys. We'll be right back.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
Alright guys, and we are back here with the potential last match of our Qoin Rising Stars Valorant Finals. And for those of you who are wondering what the heck is going on, what is this tournament, or what is Qoin? Let's get that out of the way right quick. So this tournament is brought to you by Qoin. So Qoin is going to be your gateway to a different way of buying and selling digital currency without barriers. If you guys are interested in learning more, check out the command in chat. That's going to be downloading your free Qoin wallet. Now, with that said, we're back, we're here, and we are live. My name is Kyler K. Tanda once again, and I am going to be your caster as we finish out the rest of this night. So far, this is Haven. So this is a map we've seen a lot of in the qualifiers and in the playoffs as we are trying to figure it out here. This is the one that famously went to 30 rounds as we see it between the Kittens and I believe it was Finality who ended up playing that one out. But here again, we are going to see how this plays out as the Kittens once again opt to start on the attacker side. And look at this. You may have heard of 3 duelists, but have you seen the 4 duelist combination coming out from the side of the Kittens as we're seeing them go at it here? They're jumping around, all or nothing, everything on the line. And alright, let's see what ends up going on with it, as this is a pretty risky composition. With them being on offense, this pretty much says to me that the Kittens are expecting to come out swinging. They need a great start to this one. They need to be swinging out hard and getting some great frags on their offensive side, but it looks like here goes the play. Hard and fast coming right on up. Vietti goes right on through. He's going to be blinded. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jordan sees one jumping. Doesn't quite finish the kill, but will stop the plant. And now he's going to go through it again. Gets the second one on the swing back. The Rays did get the trade kill in the smoke, but because that spike is not down and they're not able to get out of here, they're going to throw out another smoke. They see him, but Rice is there. Now the Reyna from Garage. Andy has to be the one to get a kill, but not able to get it. Jordan with the 3K as we come back out of it. And that is rough for the side of the Kittens, as it was a pretty explosive start, but they were not able to go for it just quite yet. They are going to run the 4-man duelist, so they need to get these rounds on offense. They need to find something with it. Oh. 3, 2, okay. Steven just going for a ride just cuz. Hot Hands goes out. They're going to try and push out. And instead, the rest of them are going to swing out. Fusi with the curveball swings out. Sees one, but does not know that there's a jet right on the side. And that was bad. It gives 2 for free. And they hop back over. The Shorty not able to get a kill from that side. But meanwhile, Andy picking up a gun. Knows that he can make something happen with his 12 shots. Gets the 1, trying to heal back up. Switches back around to the other Spectre. Now has to reload. 2v2 could end up being a huge round for them if they can get the guns and dip, which it looks like that is going to be the call. The Rays trying to hop through. Sees 1. Now waiting for the repeat. Playing it a little bit slower. There goes the blind. Doesn't quite connect though. Sees him. Gets the shot. 4K now for Andy, looking for the ace. Can he get it though? Bomb goes down. Watching for it. There it is. There it is. Ace for Andy as he starts up from this one. 2 big frags coming out from that one, and that is actually pretty chaotic because now for the side of the Kittens, they can come out swinging. They can come out with some firepower here, knowing that Paradox can't quite get it. They can't quite contest because they bought. They have to save here. So let's see what the rest of the Kittens come up with. As Andy right now saving his money. 6 kills on it, obviously. from the ace. Got one in the previous round. Gonna just burn up onto the hot hands for a little bit. Walks over the hot lava. But instead, they spray through the box. They're not willing to walk through that again. Blind goes out. Jordan getting his blind up ready as well. TP's back to the side, trying to swing out. Walks into a curveball. And that means it's rough spots for Paradox, as they're not able to quite get onto site. They have been forced off of it. Control is being given over. They'd like to get to some of these guns. Not able to get the kill. Does get a dink off, but doesn't quite give them as much as they would like. Now, Exempt trying to find some guns here. Walks into the Reyna, but that's a huge shot with the shorty. I don't think he knows that there's guns back there. Tailwinds back out, hops through. Needs to get the reload off. Sees the Omen, but the tail... The pistols! The pistols! The triple shots are good. And the Kittens claw their way to a 2-1 lead. Because they didn't fully upgrade their guns, they will have some options. But we're seeing this, and so far it feels like this is the play that the Kittens want to go for. It's a garage push, and it's a hard shove there. They want to see what they can get with it, what options they have available to themselves. And so far, so good. It ends up working out for them. We'll see what else they get for it, for their troubles. But overall, it's just a hard shove. They're just forcing this issue through the garage. Now on the other side, they see the Reyna. They're going to spot Straxe. Gets one shot before the run it back will finish out. But instead, Omen on the top, who will get traded back. And that means now we're back into it, as it's a 4-man take of C site. Blinds not quite landing. They're just going to start spraying, but doesn't quite give them all the information they want. And the hold gets to go in favor of the Kittens. They've got sight. They're slowly clearing everything as they can out. Not afraid to burn some ammo. That dart will be taken down. But I don't know if they see that Vietti's here in the backside. Finds one. Here's some movement. Swing around. Misses the shot. 2 bullets left. But it's just the other side. Exempt. Now looking for the outplay, but gets tapped by the pistol from Vietti. The random sprays ends up being good. And the Kittens come out with it. Overall, not bad. Not a bad start. But remember, I mean, this is the gamble, right? The risk that you run when playing 4 duelists is that you have to have a phenomenal offense. Because you will not have the tools when on defense. You will not have the ability to spread yourselves out and maintain information and use your utility. The utility these guys have is called flashes. They just go for it. Knives there from Exempt. Finds one and immediately pulls him back. Good start, but it does cost them a little bit of health on the trade. Then now they're going to spray out, looking for some movement through garage. Not quite able to get it, as the rest of them are looking for just potential swings. They get the flanker, as now they know that swing is coming in through B. But the knives are there and good from Exempt. Gets the click on him and then gets to shoot down. Little smoke goes out, but instead not going to be enough, as the Sova wanted to get some action. And it's going to go down, but actually they swung Exempt all the way around to the other side. Want to see what he can do. Oh, almost gets tagged by the blind spray. Smoke about to drop. We're gonna see what else they find with it. As Isaac finishes, there's one looking for the headshot, not able to get it with the knife, and that means it's all up to Rice now. Knows that the raise is there, but gets traded back by Steven. Great job from the Kittens to take themselves at 4. Cost them a few members, sure, but hey, they're okay with that. They're gonna take these wins as much as they can. On the other side, Delusion actually having a rough go of this one, as not the start he had previously, where he was unkilled for the first 5. I think it was almost 6 or 7 rounds before he lost his life. It's now this time around though, the Kittens swinging around. We'll have to see what they do. As whoa, looking at this here, Steven goes right over the hot hands looking for somebody. Shoots the rocket out, gets nothing. No information was there. That's why on the other side, here comes Jordan in the garage. Finds 2, but not able to get any more than that. That could be enough though to effectively halt this push, as the garage force I mean, they're not really changing up the strat very much. They're just pushing them down time and time again. As we're gonna see the owl drone get used. Rest of them still not really taking sight. They don't know if anybody's there. So they're gonna slowly clear it now. But with that, that does signal that it's only 2 members on site. The third got picked off in garage, so Straxy could look for the push once again. Looks for the blind, sees the Reyna, or sees the Raze rather. On the other side, Steven gets taken down, knowing that there's somebody on the flank, but it's Rice who finishes him off on the flank, gets the kills. And Paradox bring it back, taking us 2-6, or 2-4 rather, as they get their first round. A much needed win for them, honestly, on a gun round that they would not have had the money for otherwise. And I'm a little surprised, honestly, watching this here, that Paradox is not choosing to put more emphasis down garage. I mean, that was a beautiful blind from the side of Jordan, though, to start that one off. But looking at it here, they're stacking this garage side pretty heavily. That time it pays off, but... Or that time it could have paid off a lot more, I think. But still, they got the win. They'll take those. And on the other side, a hard 8 push was looking like it was potentially the call. Nobody swings it just yet. The Kittens playing a little bit slower this time around. Waiting for options or information. The dry peek is there, but Vietti walks right into an operator. Problem is, he walked in with the spike in hand. That shot actually tags Andy through the wall. And we'll see what ends up happening as the Omen TP is here. And they're in heaven. Bad spot, didn't cancel, so now he's gonna be up here no matter what. Sees that there is Sova there, but he needs to get help from the backup. Not able to do it. And instead, everyone else pushes back out. Here comes the Hunter's Fury from Delusion, just shooting it right down long, knowing that Exempt is watching short. Pistol shot goes out, and it is good. They're instead gonna try to pull back around. They're trying to get to this spike, but they're honestly not even able to get back through short. And that means the rest of the squad forced to retreat. They shoot him with a shock dart from heaven. And Steven,
30 seconds left.
little twitchy. He's trying to figure out what he can do here. Jumps back over, but the flawless comes through Ren with the shot and the finale. Means that Paradox now gives themselves some cushion. They've got some wiggle room. With a flawless like that, they've got money. On the other side, Kittens also still have money off of their few wins, but now they need to make it count. As it looks like they're going to aggressively try and position for C once again. But the setup has been here, right? Their setup is here. Exempt swings over to this side. And it looks like he's gonna actually call it. They push before the smoke finishes, and that's a critical mistake you don't want to allow. They instead start spraying back through the smokes. The blind trades the hope that you get somebody through it all. Exempt goes right on up into the back box. Smoke clears, and after all is said and done, it's just one body on the floor. A few bandages, a few bruises. Not quite what they wanted. After that first play from the Jet earlier on in the game, Exempt, they do not want to let him sit behind that box and creep. So instead, this time around, they take hard B control. Looking for the flash, walks right into the shot from Exempt. I don't know if that was blind, but it sure as heck looked like it could have been. As now on the other side, Straxe walks into it. Vietti with the blind shot finds 2. Meanwhile, though, on the other side, 2 defenders pushing out through B side. And that means they're going to go for the plant. It ends up getting traded 1v1, but Andy will fall to Delusion. And that is going to be tie game here in the 8th round. As a lot of chaos, a lot of crossfires that, I mean, I understand, or I get it, that when things are going by smoothly, or when things are going minute to minute at the speeds at which we're seeing in these matchups, I mean, it's hard to call out what angles you're looking at, where you need help covered from. I understand. But looking at it here, I mean, so many people got dropped because nobody was able to cover the other angles. The attempted defuse, I mean, that's around where a lot of deaths for no trading, really. And we'll see if that ends up being a problem later on, as knives come out from the other jet looking for action up on the side, but instead counter knives go out. And we'll see what they end up doing. They take down short. Raze comes out through it all, and the judge on site means that they're gonna push. They get traded back over. Blind goes out from the Omen, but it gets traded immediately on the other side. Meanwhile, Straxe trying to flank. Bad smoke will give him an opening, as he is gonna burn up. Actually loses a lot of health off of that one. Walks on through the fire. But Straxe, meanwhile, looking for the flank, gets picked off by Andy, though. And this should be the Kittens biting back. They're going to get shot through the walls once the positioning was given away. Guns across. And, alright. Not willing to trade away the op for the Phantom, but overall, the Kittens slowly trying to pull it back or pull ahead. But I mean, this is the thing we got to keep in mind. Quadruple duelists, the 4 duelists. They would like, I think if you're the Kittens, they would like to have had a better half on offense so far. 5-4, a potential 8-4 is not a bad start. But when you consider that they're going to have a much harder time on defense with their composition, I want to see what they're able to do with it. As now run it back is grabbed and immediately shot through. It was a bold play to go for the ARB through it all. But they get spotted by the dart. It means that he's not able to finish it out. Straxe gets to shoot him right on through, right on blind. And now instead they cross over. Another dart gets spotted, but it will get traded this time. Rice loses his life. See how else this plays out. They're going to re-smoke it just to get a little bit of cover. As the Owl drone now going to go right on through, see what they can find. Sees that the jet is right below him. But what does that give them? What information does that buy? Dash through, dash back. Not much more than that. As now, again, teams pushing like they want to take B control. Smoke is there. The Raze is through. Who has a judge, will travel. Waiting for somebody to push back through that doorway. Not quite willing to take it. Not able to commit to it either. Instead swings out, but finds one. Immediately Andy goes back with his op of his own. And now they're going to see what else they got. 30 seconds waiting for plant. No other backup exempt. Oh, Ander, what a shot from him. Walks into it trying to bunny hop with the spike out. But that means it's just delusion and he is in a bit of trouble. Has to get out of dodge. The spike goes down. Gets tagged up by the blind. It's about to wear off though. Sees the Omen, walks into him though, and that is Kittens picking up number 6. Overall, I'd say the Kittens, good positioning, has guns now, or has that operator in hand from Andy. He's been holding on to it and doing a great job of kind of trading it back. Steven giving us his impression of modern art as we go right back into this one. Shots going across. This looks like an aggressive push from Straxe. Potentially, yep, he's gonna find one but doesn't get a kill. Just gets some damage down as the rest of them are forced to push back. The run it back gets used. Fusi jumps him right through the garage, and that means they're still trying to push on out. It's a huge and quick swing, but it's gonna be Straxe on the back end to find them and close them down. Now he's got to try to clear out the B site, but instead ends up going over the Ander. Was on the other side now. Delusion wants to find some, not able to do it. There's a gush from the top. That means it's just up to exempt. Knows there's an out. Tries to push out of the smoke, but not able to get it. Andy shoots him down with the pistol. And alright. Kittens, if they can close this 8-4, they'd feel pretty good about their chances walking into defense, but that does mean they need to hold 5 at the back end of it all. See what ends up happening from it. As everyone else, meanwhile, holds on the sides and sees what they can do. The rest of the team, no operators. We'll just have to see what the offense is willing to do as they themselves swing out. Straxe gets traded though, actually, in the midst of it all. Now Jordan on the side knows that there's an Omen there, trying to shoot him back. Will get him. Very low. Has to try and TP back out as Andy now pops the Empress. Switches over to a rifle. And is looking for what he can get. Rice with a nice flank shot. Dissuades any more movement, but instead, here we go. Jordan swings out and brings us to a 5-7.
Switching sides.
Off of a lot of madness on that one. Hard to expect, hard to judge actually who's gonna be coming out with these 1v1s. It feels like these guys are definitely close in gun skill for the most part, but strategy and starting to be the prevailing factor. When to push, how quickly to swing, is ending up being the big things that prevent or that gives away who's gonna succeed and who's going to fail. After it all, let's see how the rest of this plays out though. Meanwhile,
Shadows traveling.
smokes go out. This could be a fast swing, as it looks like that is going to be the call. The Kittens fast and loose once again, swinging back out, trying to get some shots down. Rice forced back. It is just going to be him in Delusion, but it ends up being a 2v2 now at the end of it all, as they're once again trying to swing. Andy goes out. Andy with the headshot, just like that. All right, well, Kittens even on defense, playing offense, surprising the side of Paradox, I think, as they would like to take this to map 3. 5 more rounds will do it for them, but no easy feat. As this time out, Paradox looking like they want to slow it down a little bit and maybe make a move for themselves out of A, as the Kittens are all grouped and stacked and ready to push towards C. They don't find anybody, and instead they burn all their utility just to try and take this angle. They're playing fast on the other side. I don't even know if anybody from Paradox knew that all this was going down, as everyone is about to walk into that trap. They break it, and now they'll know. Meanwhile, Steven with the judge, waiting for one to swing. Oh, could walk into so many more! Steven! Looking for another, will get traded back finally by Rice. But while that goes down, the rest of the Kittens swung right on out of Haven, or right out of short and long. They take the site, they get the defuse. It's a lot of bodies on the floor in that one little area, but it ends up going over to the Kittens. Well, I'm sorry, to the Kittens as they take the offensive lead. Or defensive lead, I guess you could say. It looked weird because they took sight from the offense angle. Kind of weird, but hey, it works out. I mean, and a lot of that off of Steven and that judge. I mean, not expecting him to be so close and having to pull it out at the last second ends up being the moment. We'll see how Paradox choose to deal with this, because the fast and loose strategy, I mean, Kittens still playing as if they're on offense. They're trying to take control of sites versus trying to get away or trying to defend them. As we see it here, Andy pushes out, does miss out on that one. On the other side, Steven with the judge wanted to find somebody down long, not able to do it. So 3v5. Paradox trying to find their angles. This could be the round that they can take on offense now that they've got guns. Yes, alright, Neural Theft goes out. It's gonna know exactly that the raise was there, forces him on the retreat. But that means on the other side, Straxe can just kind of swing him and trade him as they take control of site. And that means Anders, they're gonna be the only one. Oh, they're not even planting. Okay, there we go. I thought they weren't even planting for a second.
Spike planted.
Sure enough, that's what they're doing. Now swings back around, finds one. Looking for more. Not quite able to do it as he has to pull back.
Cover going out.
As now, there we go. Smokes himself out, trying to clear sight. But now the information is granted. They know he's on site somewhere. What will they do with it? That's the big one. Exempt. 1v1. Here's the defuse. The stick is there. Ander actually gets one. Taps it. Looking for the trade. But Exempt will shut him down. And that means they pull back around. So, Paradox needed that one. And oh, okay. For a second there, I thought we were going to see double ops come out. But instead, no, they just end up with a rifle. I actually don't know where the money would have came from for that. Maybe it was just a bug. But on the other side, it's a half buy. It's not a full buy. They don't have all the guns they would have liked. As we'll see what ends up happening with this operator here. Is Jordan trying to pull back, and they're also on the other side. Looking for more. Quietly waiting this time around. Kittens, off of a few rounds of aggressively pushing, now looking like they're willing to hold it back and tone it down a little. As I say this, they're all grouping outside of C. In the connector and pretending like they want to go for some wild craziness. As alright, Omen goes out, tries to check short, doesn't find anything, so, or check long, A long, doesn't find anything. That's alright, curveball, they're about to walk into it. We'll see if the Phoenix uses it. Dart is about to go down, doesn't land though. There's a blind, double blind on the other side. Throws another one, instead finds them all flash, knows now that everyone is there, but they don't have the utility or the weapons they would like. And instead, blind spray through the dash, and here it goes. The blind is out looking for pistols, not able to get it. Doesn't get the first shot done, but meanwhile on the other side, Jordan is there. The Kittens doing a great job at spraying through all this smoke, and he's going to be forced back to hold with operator. And this means Paradox takes us to 7. As it's still pretty crazy to think about that that the rest of them kind of plays out. As it is just gonna be the save from Andy. Hanging out in the side of B Heaven. Watch it for action, but not quite able to find anything. And alright, there we go. Paradox would like to get some things done here. They'd like to close this one this one out clean. As the rest of the Kittens, meanwhile, swinging back around. It's once again that slow play. They spray out. They look for more. And even though they don't find anything, still waiting to see what else goes on. This time out, the Kittens choosing that the site that they will be stacking is going to be B. And honestly, meme team, dream team so far is kind of how this has been playing out. As Steven's still buying the judge. They're refusing to eco buy. And instead just opting for full-on half strats, I guess you could call it. Blind one goes out. There's the second smoke. They burn all the utility to make sure that the site is clear. With that now, the rest of the Kittens see what they can find. As the blind sprays do come across. Bootsy actually finds one, and the run it back gets used. They're gonna instead get caught out by the Hunter's Fury on the other side. As Control, Delusion would like to hold on to his spike, finds one, there's another! Oh no, it ends up being a 1v1. Will he push this though? That's the question. Does he know that he's getting pushed? Falls back once again, knows that nobody's on the spike, and that means Ander, as much as he'd like to take this 1v1, he's out of time! He gets the dink, but it's already a kill, traded, and that means Paradox picks up the round. Huge hold from Delusion there with the Hunter's Fury to block off the entrance onto site. I mean, not much more that he was going to be able to do with it on the other side, because when you think about it, Delusion effectively gave them no way out of CT. And that is a rough retake to attempt to do at the end of it all.
Ready. Revealing
It stands though, everyone else looking for more. So we'll have to see what ends up being the next play. Steven sitting up here with a Marshall, of all things. Not an op. But I don't know, I'm questioning if the Kittens' refusal to do an eco round is gonna start hurting them, because again, they're short. They're short on some utility. They're not fully powered. They are just pretty much checking or just buying what they can every round. As you do see some movement out, blind goes through. Said knives are there, but it's gonna be exempt finding that one. He gets traded back around by Steven on the back end with that showstopper, but that means sight is secure. They're gonna go for the plant now. The jet dashes out and immediately Vietti gets shut down. Here comes Andy coming out from CT. Gets spotted by the dart and will get traded down. Paradox evens up the scoreboard. And maybe now we'll see the Kittens opt to save a round. Although initial reactions say no. They will still use whatever they got and just buy it out every single round. I don't quite know if that's gonna be a great call and great decision in the long term, but hey, we're here. It's happening. Meanwhile, on the other side, smokes go down. Still trying to figure out where they want to go with this. As Steven swings out, will get spotted, but not too bad. Kittens in dangerous territory. Actually, this push from Ander, okay. I was just about to say he could find something, but ends up getting taken down. Kittens. Traitorous with the doggy explosion there. No cat sprays. As they now keep pushing forward. Attempt is there. As now they're gonna, once again, there's some smoke and some drop. As they're trying to get some information. Now they're gonna swing back around. Looking for it, not quite able to do it. As instead, Fusi in the back line, waiting with the hot hands. There it goes through it, looking for the first pick, not able to do it. Knows that the plant goes down, instead gets traded out by Straxi. And the Empress looking for another headshot, will get it. And that means he's got some room to play with. Tries to spray it, no, will not have to. I mean, okay, look at the setup. They've left Straxi all alone in the back to clear out whoever's there. Everyone else is in the back site, just waiting on the other side for the spray down. And I think this means Steven is just gonna be left alone. He's got no business. He's got no business attempting. He could try. Looks for the pick, but it's gonna be the 3K from Straxi as he gets that one and gets to walk out with the gun and his life. A flawless offensive round. Alright, time to count them. How many rounds before AGG chooses to save? I think finally we might get the answer of this is the round. But with that, nope. I'm seeing it still. Vietti buys a rifle again. We're back at it. Under strength, half gunned. Maybe they can make a play to happen this time though. Vietti with the Vandal would need to get some long range taps. As instead, the dart will expose him, but does get one. That was good. Now can they get more? Andy from short trying to get some shots down, not able to do it. And so that means the rest of the squad backs away. Paradox does trade one.
I have the spike. Watch them run.
And alright. Immediately drops the spike, clears back sight, gets the plant, and we're gonna go right on back to this strat. I have a feeling they do have the Hunter's Fury to cover, but I think this time around they're gonna leave the Omen on site. They're smoking for him so that he can retreat, and it looks like, yeah, he has found his way over to the side. Now, other Omen, Ander, is available, but you would assume if you are the side of the Kittens that you've seen this play. You've got to know that they're back there. Swings for it, checks it, but Exempt is the first kill there, or gets the kill. Second follow-up. Exempt lets him walk into 2. Now Smoke's on the other side. The tap, the spray. They hear a shot, so they know it's not a full stick, but instead they're just going to hold around the backside. It's really going to be up to Ander to try and get something done, and it doesn't go that way. AGG, rough spot. That plant spot, I mean, they don't seem to currently have the answer. Fortress Paradox currently resides at C long, right where the orb spawns. That is their fortress, and nobody from the Kittens is able to penetrate so far, so it causes a bit of chaos. On the other side, maybe they try to make sure they can't get C. That would be my assumption, but we'll see how this plays out. Paint shells go across. Just pop some smoke back over. And now we'll see what ends up going down. Delusion gets his drone breaking out. A heavy stacking from the Kittens on C though. Steven gets a nice spray tap through the wall. Blindly spraying around. Vietti with the knives here. Looking like he wants somebody to push him. So far, the rest of the squads managed to make it up A. They haven't quite finished anything. They're about to blind out. Alright, and instead, no, they just smoke. They don't even burn the blind. They're just gonna take site clean. And now Straxe on the side plants it up against the wall, denying options for them to jump out, but instead there goes one. Phoenix goes right on through the doorway, right out of heaven. Neural Theft gets used, and that means it's gonna spot him out that there's 2 on the map. They're gonna blind up inside of heaven, and it's gonna be up to Ander and Andy once again, the duo, to make it happen here as they try to pull back around. The spray not good, and that means it's just Steven left. He goes down as well. And just like that, we might have match point on our hands. And, the Kittens. I mean, they had such a good first half. 8-4 is still pretty good. But this is what I was talking about. On defense, they don't have the option, or rather, all it took for Paradox to stop their play is to just wait. They don't allow the Kittens to push like they did in those first 2 rounds. They say, if you're going to push, you're going to walk right into a crossfire from us. And Kittens, unable to use their quadruple duelist to any great effect. The dart gets tagged. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. He's going to get tagged by 1. Has to try and retreat. Honey hopping around, but walks right into the shot of Straxe. Now another one on the side. Just going to start blind spraying it. Omen TPs, but you know exactly how this play works out. The plant behind the box. He just needs to try and escape now. As the other side, meanwhile, though, Steven gets a gun. Has a Vandal now. Trying to look for the long range play. Tap. There's the dart. Will not get any damage across. But instead, they could hold it. They actually find the diffuser. Ins through it all. Somebody's defusing. Vietti's in the back. Needs to win the trade. Okay. And that is Vietti, who manages to stick it while he gets covered. So, good round, good pickup from the side of the Kittens. 12-10, still very close. But overall, I mean, if the scoreboard shows you, it's been majority offensive favorites so far. That flip is deceiving if you're looking at the scoreboard. Match point. The Kittens need to do this 2 more times to force the overtime, to force the win by 2. Showstopper goes down A long, not going to be able to do much. But actually, Jordan walks in and finds Ander creeping on out through the smoke. He might ult, but where is the question? Hops against it. No push from A short, or from A is what the information that Cypher Cam gives. Overall, still waiting to see what else comes through. As this is the same sight, the same look every single time. Now they're gonna push to try and hold Straxy out. There goes the Empress. Tries to find out, but runs out of bullets. Now they run it back from Fusi. Has to find something, but that spike goes down, and he did not want that to happen. The Raze is also here trying to cover out, but the Omen might be able to retreat in time. Jordan swings around, sees the Phoenix, gets one. Could look for more, doesn't get the second. And now they're wishing they had the showstopper, because even if they tap, they're looking for more. But that blind spray can easily come down. The firing squad, the gallery shooting. They're going to try to trade it back. There goes again. Vietti just needs to spray down. Tags up the shock dart. Is going to eat everything he can to the face. But no, they get the diffusers. And that's it. Paradox Gaming will be your champions here for the side of the Qoin Rising Stars Valorant tournament. Woo, what a ride. What a way this ended up playing out. I personally am pretty amazed that this is how it went, but with that said, Paradox Gaming, I mean, Kanga took him to 3 games yesterday in the playoffs round, so, you know, nothing to scoff at, but boy oh boy, they came here to play in the finals. And with that, ladies and gents, I mean, that officially will wrap us up for all of this, for the main event, for the whole thing. I mean, not what we were expecting, not how we wanted it to go. I mean, yesterday's matches surely were something to behold. If you wanted to check out the hype matchups from that one, you definitely should be watching some of those clips, some of those VODs. But for everything else, I mean, can't take it away. Paradox Gaming, they deserved it. They took the win against what is, you know, the team that was in front, that was placed in front of them, I guess you could say. And although some people maybe would have liked to see Genuine going up against Paradox, you gotta give the Kittens credit. They got us here. They took it to 3 maps yesterday, and they ended up close, or they just couldn't execute on the last day. So with that said, we want to give a special shout out once again to our main sponsor here in Qoin. So with this tournament, again, it's been brought to you by Qoin. If you guys haven't heard me say this enough, then, you know, hey, you get to hear it one last time before we close out the night. But Qoin is your gateway to a different way of buying and selling a digital currency without barriers. So if you guys are interested in Qoin, you definitely want to type in this code that I'm going to be giving out to you guys in chat 3 minutes ago, as it was. But download your free Qoin wallet today by clicking on that link. And for me, myself, and I normally say the entire broadcast team, but really you guys just had me for this whole shebang. So thank you guys for joining me for all of this as it stands. And we hope to see you guys at the next tournament off of here from the Qoin Rising Stars, as we hope there to be more. Thank you to Mogul, thank you to EP, and the rest of the TOs that have been working behind the scene, Christine and Mango, at least the 2 that I've mostly seen on the scoreboard and the names. But thank you guys to everyone. So, and thank you guys, the viewers. I'm personally not from Oceania. I'm close. I'm your neighbor from Hawaii, but it definitely was fun to watch some high-level Oceanic Valorant action. So with that said, we hope to see you guys next time. We hope to see you more. GG and good night. See you, everybody.